The Galaxy Watch 4 is special, not only because it looks and works great, but also because this time Samsung and Google have worked together on it. The Watch 4 still has a really polished software, but now benefits from the app ecosystem on Google's Wear OS. Now, I've got the Bluetooth version of the Galaxy Watch 4. There's also an LTE variant and there are two sizes. Samsung also launched the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, which comes in better build materials and it's got a physical rotating bezel. All links in the description. Starting from the basics, the unboxing was fairly quick. You just get the watch and you've got a magnetic charger, so the watch magnetically attaches itself to the charger, which you can then hook it up to a USB port. There are no additional sized straps in the box, and also there's no screen protector on the display, but it's a pretty strong display to begin with, and we'll talk more about that later. The watch itself, it looks incredible. I personally love circular dials on watches and I think they look very classy. And that display is a clear standout. It looks so good. The colors look really nice. It's an AMOLED screen and I've got the 44mm dial, so it's nice and big. The strap feels amazing on your skin. It's soft, lightweight, flexible, and sweat resistant. And so when you're moving, the strap doesn't push hard against your skin. And because it's got that belt-like mechanism for locking, it doesn't come off at all, even if you're having a rough workout. You'll also notice that there's a bit of gap where the belt bends, and if you've got smaller wrists, it may end up looking big. But hey, these are replaceable straps, so you can take any 20mm strap, one that bends all the way, and that way your watch is not going to look as big. Look at that, now it looks smaller. The Watch 4 is also IP68 water resistant, so you can take this for a swim, run out in the rain, and definitely not be worried about excessive sweating ruining your watch. The setup was very smooth. You power on the watch, and if you've got a Galaxy phone, it will simply show up to connect. And if you're not on a Galaxy phone, then you'll have to get the Wearable app from the Play Store and optionally the Samsung Health app. The Watch 4 probably has one of the best displays I've ever seen. It's a spacious display with super crisp text and visuals, colors look absolutely amazing, the touch is flawless, and performance is fast. Because I don't have the Classic and this is the regular Watch 4, it's got a touch-enabled rotating bezel. But yeah, the experience of using a physical rotating bezel like on the Watch 4 Classic is something else, and you'll only get that with that variant. Also, the display is protected using Gorilla Glass DX Plus, which is one of the toughest in the industry for wearables, so everyday knocks, that's not going to break this display. But you are going to gather micro scratches over a period of time, the glass will lose its shine. So having a layer of film to protect it is actually a good idea. The Watch 4 this time brings new features not seen in previous watches. Of course, you can still pick up calls and make calls, you can speak using the watch and even reply to notifications from the watch. And then there are various ways to respond. You can doodle your letters, send in voice note, dictate text, or use the inbuilt keyboard. But as I said, there are new things to talk about. The Watch 4 can now measure body composition like fat percentage, skeletal muscle, body water, BMR, and so on. They do this using a bioactive sensor, and all you have to do is tap measure, place your fingers on the buttons, and wait for a few seconds. And that's it. You get info that's otherwise very hard to get and track. And you can track all of this on your S Health app as well. You also get deeper sleep insights as it now captures blood oxygen levels and snoring patterns while you sleep. That is if and when you do snore. But yeah, you do get all the other data that you did with previous watches, like, your REM data, how long were you awake, your light sleep information, and how long were you in deep sleep state for. The device can detect physical activities to track routines and supports more than 90 exercises. You name an exercise and it's here in the list. And thanks to inbuilt GPS, it also maps your running location or your workout area. So if you go into Samsung Health, there you go. It tells you everything, your steps and calories burnt and where you were working out. And depending on the kind of exercise you pick, you can change the targets that are set. So if it's a running exercise, you can set the duration as a target, distance as a target, or calories burnt. You can also have auto pause. You can ensure that the screen is always on, and you can have an audio guide. From within the Samsung Health app, you can get all historical information and track improvements or deterioration. Samsung Health app is quite comprehensive in my opinion. It looks great and it works very intuitively. And as long as you're signed in with your Samsung account, it's synced across all your devices as well. And because fitness tends to work better when you've got fitness buddies, Samsung Health also has this Together tab wherein you can add friends already on Samsung Health or invite them and work out together, keeping track of who's doing better. And talking about new features, the Watch 4 now has Wear OS and not Tizen OS, so you get access to a really rich library of apps that are watch compatible. For example, Google Maps, so you get turn-by-turn directions to wherever you're heading. So feed in the destination, choose your mode of transport, and you'll get turn-by-turn directions on your watch display, including the ability to see the complete map or the route. You also get companion apps automatically. So let's say I've got Todoist, which does have a Wear OS compatible companion app, and I can look at all my tasks. And of course, in addition to all that, you do get your usual heart rate monitor, which you can change to either monitor continuously or every 10 minutes or only when you want it to. So up to you. A word of caution though, all this data that's presented by the sensors on the watch is not supposed to be used for diagnostic measures. They're good indicators and can be used as baseline to improve upon, but just take them with a grain of salt. Keep that in mind. The UI hasn't changed much. You can swipe from left to access notifications, swipe from top to access your quick settings, and swipe from bottom to access all the apps installed. You can swipe from right to access tiles, which you can then customize and reorder basis usage. I love the fact that Samsung now puts the music tile automatically up front when you're listening to music, so it's easier for you to play, pause, skip tracks, and change volume. And by the way, you can connect your wireless earphones or headphones directly with the watch and play songs, not having your phone around. Now, although the internal storage in the watch is 16 gigs, but you get only 7 gigs free. So you can just download songs, load them onto your watch, connect them to your earphones, leave your phone at home, and you can just go for a run. And you can listen to music and track your runs just with the watch and your earphones. Let's also talk about Watchfaces. Now, the Watch 4 comes with some new ones which are not available on previous generation Galaxy watches. Also, if you purchased one in the past, they won't migrate here because, well, they were built for Tizen OS and this is Google's Wear OS. But having said that, the inbuilt watch faces are amazing. They look great and some of them are really super useful. For example, this one. You can set 4 complications and depending on the kind of info that you want to see on your watch, you can set it up that way. And like previous watches, depending on the context, you can put your watch either on bedtime mode, theater mode, or power saving mode. And now let's talk about battery. And it's such a subjective topic because it can vary so much person to person depending upon their use. So I'm just going to share my stats with you. So day 1, I had always on display turned on throughout. GPS was turned on and there was 2 hours of non-stop activity tracking by the watch. It gave me 30 hours. Day 2, I just turned off always on display and I got pretty much 34 hours with 1 hour of activity tracking. And day 3, no activity, no AOD, but GPS was on and I did turn on bedtime mode and I got close to 40 hours. And so typically you'll get 24 hours plus a few more extra hours depending on your use, right? So if you use your watch a lot for accepting phone calls on the speaker, if you have your heart rate monitor set to continuously monitor your heart rate, if you track a lot of exercise in a given day, all of that is going to drain your battery faster. So you can get typically anywhere between 28 to 36 hours depending on usage. And I think that's pretty good for a smartwatch that offers so much, that has so many sensors working together. Sure, I would have loved to have a couple of days together, but again, charging is not a big deal, so I don't mind. Overall, I really think that the Galaxy Watch 4 and the Watch 4 Classic are the only Wear OS compatible watches that one should get at this point in time. Of course, if the budget permits. I mean, there aren't any Wear OS watches that can really compete with these watches at the moment. The only temporary downside could be that there aren't enough third-party apps that the watch integrates with at a very deep level, except for maybe Strava and Samsung Health app. So, but that can all be fixed in time with updates and hopefully that happens for all of us. Having said that, if you're already a Samsung Galaxy phone user and you don't mind using Samsung Health, which I think is a pretty good app for casual fitness and health enthusiasts, the Galaxy Watch 4 and the Watch 4 Classic are a no-brainer. They're good-looking, feature-packed, and built with the best of materials, and they're pretty much at par with any other high-end wearable in the market at the moment. Anyway, that's it on the Watch 4, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them in the section below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification icon. I'll see you guys in the next one.